Hey everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Q&A show, the show that is here to help answer your airsoft questions and demystify this world of tech and just lifestyle around airsoft a little bit easier. Also, don't forget your questions from the show come from last week, so put them in the comment section for this week and they'll be on the next week. Vote up your favorites and make sure you put a good question out there. I do my best to try to answer about 3 or 4 every single week. Also, if you have a channel of your own or a channel that you like, please recommend that as well. I also do a video recommendation of the week every single week at the end of this video, toward the end. Also, timestamps are down below if you want to jump ahead to questions, as well as if you want to support the show, subscribe, really helps a lot. Hit the notification bell, thumbs up to like the video, and you can head over to the web store. I got a link over in the corner up here, and you can pick up some Airsoftology merch, including some cool morale patches. I have them all out there on sale, free shipping worldwide. So that's kind of how this all works. So let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Boot Heel Silver writes, my question is my local field, Simo Airsoft. We're trying to build up to become one of the go-to fields in our area. The area is about 150-mile radius. Aside from building up the town area we play in and the 20-plus acres of woods we have, what would you recommend doing to make it a premier field? So there's more to a great field than just the field. Now, it sounds like you have a fantastic base to start with. Actually, if you go on to the question and read a little bit more, he talks about this being a paintball field and convert it over. So there's a lot there already. I think when it comes down to it, it is the play style, the reffing ability, and I've talked about this before. Those are things that really make a fantastic field. If I want to go and reference probably one of the best outdoor fields that I've ever played at, and that's Ballahak Airsoft, and Chris and the team there run most amazing field. Now, don't get me wrong, it's built out crazy in a town, and then the rest is like swamp. Now, where it's built out is cool. He's got like a real jet, like a military jet crash there. Like multi-story buildings, including like 3-story buildings. I mean, it's some nice stuff. And these are not just stapled together things. I mean, these are professionally built buildings. All in all, fantastic field. But the play area, like the town area, is just kind of one area. What I recommend is this. This is just my experience from going around the world, around the United States and in other countries, and seeing what works. Having an outdoor field, of course, it's going to be a seasonal thing. Having great buildings to play in is going to give people that CQB option. Mix up the games. Don't always have them in the city. Mix up where people are going to have objectives around. Try to make people fight in different areas. Set up some outer bases. This would be my recommendation. The field I started playing at was Bad Karma Airsoft. Now, we not only had a middle area that was built up kind of crazy called Switzerland, because it was really hard to take and pretty easy to hold. So it was like this no man's land. If both teams got there, it was just like this bloodbath battle that it was, no one could ever really take it over. It was kind of neat because there was always a battle going. It was always back and forth. But we also had 2 remote bases on either side of the field. Now, if the field was a big square, they actually sat on the same side of the field, back in the corners on either end, and allowed battles to happen through the woods. Then you could come up to the Switzerland area, or you could flank all the way above Switzerland around where there really was nothing. There was some small little stuff in the woods scattered around, so you had areas to have skirmishes and battles, places you could put flags for objectives, remote objectives, things like that. I think some of the best games we played were some of attack and defend, mixing up the bases. So I think if you have the main base and then some outer bases, it will mix it up. Now, the outer bases don't have to be as built up as your town, but something that's defendable. One of my favorite games of the game we had called Mad Medic, where the defending team would have to call for the medic, and there's only one, or if there's a lot of players, maybe 2 medics there, and they would have to run and go and bring these players back to life. So if you wanted to leave the base, now your medic couldn't get to you, so you're dead. You're just out there and you couldn't get revived. But if you want to stay inside, the medic's running around like crazy. And once you kill the medic, then there's no more respawns and you can pick away the rest of the team. So the medic needed to be protected. It was a really fun game style that worked for an attack and defend variation. So one of my personal favorites. But I think that's the recipe to it. The other thing is great reffing. And I'm talking really good reffing, dealing with people who are cheating, breaking the rules, having a polite but firm ref team. I think that's going to be it more than anything. People are willing to pay. I will pay really good money to come play at a great field that is managed and ref well. You deal with the cheaters, you get them out. Sometimes they might be your best customer, the person that's actually bending or breaking the rules, but that best customer is pushing away your other players. So I think all these things really come together to be a great field, but I don't always have the answer. So I'm actually gonna pose this back out to you guys and gals. It's gonna be kind of like the rebound or reflection question of the week, let's say. And I'm asking all of you out there, the guys and gals watching this video, what makes your field the best? What can we help to do to maybe make this field the best and also other fields around and take bits and pieces? So I'm curious to hear what you've seen, just like my experience at Bad Karma, and some game style, some different game modes. The reffing I think is important, but what else is very important to have a great field experience, whether it be indoor or out? I'm curious to see what you guys and gals come up with in the comment section below. Sebastian Tours writes, hey Jonathan, do you know of any good mid-cap magazines that work well with a VFC Avalon that are at a reasonable price? So I think the secret to a good mid-cap is not only does it work with one brand gun, and the VFC Avalon's good. This is actually kind of an Avalon body. This is a VFC, we'll talk about it later. But I think it's important to have a magazine that works across multiple platforms. So you may not have that Avalon forever. You might pick up other guns. You may toss that magazine to a friend to play with, so you want something with some universal compatibility. For me, I found two magazines that I've really been very happy with that seem to work across the board in everything. Now, there are other great ones out there. I don't have some experience with some of the mags. I really stick to what I know, because once I find it and it works really well, it's hard for me to change because it's that. You said budget. So I'm going to start with budget, then I'm going to go with a different version as a secondary option if you have some money or you want to mix in some other ones. For the budget, in the States, it's sold as Elite Force brand. They have their mid-cap magazines that are out there, but worldwide, they are actually made by Aries. So they're the Elite Force mid-cap magazines. You can get them like in a 10-pack, and a lot of shops will sell them individually. I think are some of the best budget mid-cap magazines out there. They should be around $10 US a piece. By and far, for me, fitting and feeding in the widest array of guns like KWA, VFC, which is the Avalon you mentioned, and a lot of G&G, other great brands, I really feel like this magazine is going to be one of the better multi-compatible M4 magazines on the market. If you can't get a hold of their standard ones that look like regular M4 mags, I also say the same guts, the same fit, the same internal parts are in the Aries mags. They actually have like a little swing down pull on them and they look a little more futuristic and fancy. Those are also good too. I've used those. They usually ship with Aries guns that come with mid caps. The high caps are a little different. They look the same, but make sure you pick up the mid caps. I don't know the pricing on those. I think they might be a little bit more, but not too much more. Now you want to step up to something big. It's this right here, the tip of my finger. This is the PTS EPM, Enhanced Polymer Magazine. In fact, they're gonna be releasing, I've seen the prototypes of the EPM1, which is the newer version, which they're enhancing. I think they're probably still going to keep this version, though. I don't think they're going to get rid of this. They might do two different price point plays, but this to me has been by and far one of the best magazines I've used that have fit and fed in almost anything. This is a VFC gun right here, and it is my go-to. It fits in there. I use the crud out of these things. I've had this one forever. In fact, hang on, let me sling back without maybe knocking off my microphone here. I'll grab this for you and I'll show you. Take this out. So here it is. In fact, I don't know if you can see the focus. Maybe I can get this thing to focus for you here. If it'll cooperate, it probably won't. There we go. You can kind of see, maybe I can turn it a little bit sideways. You can see I had it laser engraved with my name on it. And on the back side, you can see my last name's on there too. There you go, laser engraving. But this is my go-to. I've had this one forever. You can rebuild them. There's actually how-tos on the rebuilds on this. But by and far, probably one of the best magazines. I've lost a few over the years, which stinks, but fit, feed, and work functionality, I really think, and the PTS support of constantly improving these things is really for me. So if you want to, like I said, get in and do some repairs, things like that, these are the go-to for a more premium one. So get a few of those, mix in a few of these, and I think you'll be good to go. There are some other great magazines out there. I'm just talking about the ones I have personal experience with and use and trust on a daily basis. And these are the ones that have pretty much never let me down. I mean, obviously, you're going to get gunk inside and they'll jam up, and that happens. You know, you're out there speed loading in the field and brush and dirt and junk gets in there to mess it up. But aside from that, I think overall I've had great experiences with both of these magazines, and that should give you some options no matter where you live in the world. Hey Gamer writes, where's the love for 60s and 70s guns? There's only one option for lower than desirable budgets for MP5s, and those style guns have less support than others. You're not seeing a lot of the old style guns. I have seen a return. I think PTS, again, we've done my PTS this video. PTS had a special release version of a 1960s, like the Special Operations, the MaxSOG version of the M4, which could be kind of a cool option, even though it's an M4. You've got the old, I think it's the XM733. I forget the model number, the older ones like that. But when it comes to the older guns, you do have some options. Remember, the AUG is actually, I think, from the 70s, technically, so you're gonna talk about 70s guns there. But I think when it comes to those older rifles, what really drives the desire to create these for makers, airsoft makers, are one, can they sell? Two, are they popular, which kind of ties back into one, can they sell? And that really comes down to what's hot in video games today. And we haven't seen a video game set in the 60s and 70s becoming a very like a AAA first-person shooter, like a Modern Warfare game. They all tend to be way back in World War I or World War II, and we've seen a resurgence on those guns, but we're not seeing a lot of stuff popping up from that Vietnam era where you're looking at that 60s and 70s sweet spot there. You know, it's just, it doesn't really exist. And also, when you look at innovations, you know, a lot of those guns, like you said, are still around, MP5s, and we're talking about licenses too. So the company, when they do choose to make a short run, they're probably going to go premium, because if it's not a super popular gun, they want to kind of capitalize on having to spend money on molding and working with these factories. So going with a more expensive gun and not giving you a budget option is probably, unfortunately, going to be what the case is when you look at these guns that are these short run special editions. They're going to be more premium in price, so these companies can recoup their molding costs. I mean, molds to create these airsoft guns are incredibly expensive. We're talking tens of thousands of US dollars per mold, and there are multiple molds inside of a gun. That's why you see a lot of M4s, because, I mean, heck, the molding's already out there. They make a few changes, maybe a new mold for a handguard or a stock, and voila, you got a new gun. It's lower cost to produce. So I think that's what we're running into. I think you will see what you're asking for when video games start pushing that direction again. If they do, like I said, we've seen the World War I, World War II stuff. We've seen now we're going back to modern. We're seeing more modern guns out there, probably going to become very popular. And then we're going to hopefully see it swing back around if we see something from that time period. Well, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. This one comes from Sniper. I don't know, he's from Great Britain. I'm gonna go with the Spanish, Sniper Jaco, Sniper Jaco, I don't know, Sniper Jaco, I don't know. It's one of those three. I'm gonna go with the Spanish pronunciation, it's Jaco. I like that, it sounds cooler. Anyway, it says, hey Jonathan, a partner with a manufacturer has innovated airsoft filming. They produce 360-degree BBs with a camera inside, and I made a video about them. Now, okay, if you guys and gals didn't know, my past life is tech. I worked in the IT industry before I switched and started doing YouTube full time. So, of course, I'm going, yeah, right. I mean, the cost to shrink technology. Anyway, so I'm like, but I'll bite. I'll nibble, all right? I'll see what this is. And you know what? It's some good stuff, all right? Take away the fact that, well, let's just say, yeah, this isn't real, all right? But I love the innovative filming. He produces this 360 BB shot. It's great. His sniping is on point. And what I really enjoy about this video is he deals with a cheater in here. The title of the video has nothing to do with cheating, and the way he handles it is so good. I think all in all, every part of this video, if you're into airsoft sniping, definitely a channel you want to sub to. Interesting concept, but I love what he did to add interest to this video. Obviously, part of it was done, I don't want to give it away, but definitely worth the watch just for the cool effects to get into this 360-degree BB camera thing he's doing. It's very cool and something I have not seen in a video before. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely go take a look at the channel. As always, I have a video would have popped up in the corner as recommendation. I have the link. It's always down in the description box below. If you like what you see over his channel, mash his sub button, hit his notification bell, and then put a comment under one of his videos, especially this one, and let him know I sent you over there. Well, anyway, that's that's it for this week. If you have a video of your own or a channel you love, I mean, this one's self-promoted, obviously. If you have a channel or that you love to watch or your own, please put it in the comment section below. I would love to check it out, maybe add you to my subscribe list and help share your Airsoft channel here on this show that happens every single week. Also, if you have a question, put it down below. I'd love to answer those for you the best I could. I will do my darndest to give you my opinions and all that. And I love the dialogue and commentary we all have together down in the comment section. I think we have a great community here, me and you, all of us that are pretty nice. Actually, it's a pretty civil comment section. I like it down there. Anyway, until next week, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.